Alrighty traders, there is danger in the disco. There is what's happening right now, guys. We are breaking out of two long-term channels. We're actually also resistance at my moving average as well. It's not looking good. We've got gold continue to have a sell-off, silver as well too, and also the crypto market is also weak, guys. We may be getting ready for one hell of a week coming up. Let me share what I'm talking about. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty guys, so before I get started guys, I have just a couple of more spots. I think there's 2 or 3 spots left open for that super trader format. This is the format that took me from losing $250,000 to actually getting on track. What was step 1, step 2, step 3, the things I actually had to follow to become a good trader. If that's for you guys, then go over right now. There should be very first link in the description. Go over, watch the video, and if it's for you, then you can register and I can share that with you for free. But guys, I think there's only 2 or 3 spots left, so go to that right now. All right, let's actually look at this here, guys. We are in danger territory right now. The market is looking frothy as hell, and something that a lot of traders, if you're a short term, like right now I'm doing short term analysis, right? I'm doing what's happening on the daily charts, what's happening right now today. It's so important that you don't have, if you're doing short term analysis, well, you must flow with what the short term analysis is telling you, right? A lot of people, the big mistake, they say, oh, I'm going long, like crypto right now. Oh my goodness, guys, crypto looks very, very weak, and it looks like it's about to get pummeled. I'm going to share those charts with you in a minute, but are we about to get pummeled? Now, when I say pummeled, is the overall market about to get pummeled, which is probably going to be a good thing, because guess what? I'm in some long positions right now, and I'm happy about that, and I'm also in some short trades, so I don't really care what happens. I just know my trading system is going to do really well. Are you that confident in the way that you're trading? If not, then guys, you need to be in that approach. Every time you get into a trade, you need to say, you know what, this has a massive success rate of getting to my profit target. Do you have that trading strategy? Do you have that approach? If not, guys, you need to start there. Otherwise, you are never going to move forward. A year from now, you would have just wasted a whole year on a whole bunch of bullshit that doesn't do a lick of difference to you. Okay, I promise you that. But once you can start the trade approach that, you know, most of the time, not all the time, you're going to have your losses too, but most of the time you have a trading system that delivers a short-term target that most of the time you can actually get that. Once you can start to trade something like that, guys, it's a game changer for you. Who cares about what's happened to the short, you know, S&P drops, S&P up, down, mining stocks up, down, crypto up, down. To me, I don't care. Why? Because I know, especially on my short-term trades, and I was talking about this with my private clients today, it's like, man, short-term trades, like massively success rate, especially my what I call short-term cash flow generator trades. Guys, you need to have something like that, okay? And so, you know, guys, you need to, and the reason why I'm saying that, guys, is because I know a lot of people are going to get hurt over these next few weeks, and it's just not going to be good. Anyway, so let's have a let's look at this here right now. Someone's going to say in the chat box, you know what, guys? If you don't want to waste your time, start at 3 minutes and 33 seconds, because they're going to completely miss the first bit, because all they want is that quick little short-term tip, right? That quick technique. Tell me what's going to happen tomorrow, but they're not going to be interested in what I just. If you just listen to what I just said there, the first 3 minutes, guys, and actually do good at that, you're good. Unfortunately, 97% of you guys are not going to do it, and that's okay, because you guys are going to suck, because guess what? I used to be like that. Now, look what's happening here. We have two channels. One, firstly, the wedgie. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. See this faint line through here? That's the wedgie. The wedgie is not looking good. Oh, well, it's actually a pretty good wedgie, but we're actually getting some pretty strong weakness in the markets right now, guys. You can see that's the first thing there. The second thing is I zoom in onto my 3 months worth of data. 3 months worth of data, right? As you can see. And look what's happening through here. Support. Look at this here. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o, right? Little support there, little support there, little support there, little support there, little support there. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. So I would not be too surprised, guys, moving into next week, if we did something like this. We had a little rally up into somewhere like that there, and then there we go down like that, right? That's what I'm expecting to see. There's a lot, you can see if I zoom in, and let me show you why I'm saying that. If you look at the bars, look at these daily bars. Look at that daily bar there, this daily bar here. Actually, let me just take it all off the screen so you can see what I'm looking at here, right? Notice how we got today. Look, where did the bar close today? It closed where? I'm teaching you, this is real short-term analysis here, okay? Look where it closed, right there. Notice this day closed right here. Oh, sorry, that was the low. Couldn't close below there. That was the low. Couldn't close below there. That was the low. It couldn't close below there. That was the low. That was the low. So notice here. Notice if I did an area, the band and area is around about there. See that there? So guess what's likely to happen next week? If indeed we do rally up like this here, we're probably likely to do this. And then we're probably likely to come back down like that and have a down bar. And everyone's going to go, oh my goodness. Right? That's the bumblebees going absolutely just nuts and crazy. That's the sky is falling. But guess what? This is not the major top, guys. Pullbacks. Maybe a bit of a sharp correction is coming. But guess what? Not the top. We are not at the top of the top of the markets, guys. In any bull market, it's going back hundreds of years. 80% of the time when we have a correction, 8%, 9%, 10%, you know, that sort of 7 to sort of 15% correction in the markets, guess what? 80% of the time, they don't turn into bear markets. And this is no way this is turning into a bear market. No, not right now. We're not at that place. Guess what? Have you ever seen that image, that GIF image? Let me see if I can see it. Now, you know why? Look at this. Check this out. Oh, wait there. There we go. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, look at this. You know this image right here? Check this out, all right? You know why? You know why we're not going down? Because this guy's going to be doing this, right? Oh, correction. Don't fear. The Fed's here. Interest rates, stay down. Tapering every single month. 120. You know what? Screw that. Let's go 150 every single month. Are you getting me right now? Guys, I'm just so excited because it's very, very clear to see what's happening here. And yes, the market is very high. And yes, we're very up. And yes, a correction can happen. But if we are down 10 to 15%, that's going to be a layup for the big guys to come in. And then guess what? Slingshot, baby, to the upside. Slingshot to the upside. So just what I'm talking about right here, guys, is just be aware of what the possible scenarios can happen, right? Because that's what trading's all about. Okay, look at the possible scenarios. Right now, we're probably going to have more of a down day next week. And depends on what happens there. This actually could turn into something a bit more than just one more down day, right? Because this is the last low here. Very, very, very interesting, right? And so you can see, look at this here. Look at this, look at the resistance on this moving average as well too. Rejection, 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 rejection. And now we're actually breaking down. This is very, very, very weak, guys. Very weak. And let me explain the reasons why as well too. All right? I'm gonna bring out the short-term analysis here. Firstly, I looked at what I just shared with you just then here. But look at this here, guys. Notice how we have, you know how in a downward trend we have lower highs and lower lows in a downward trend? Well, we also have highs and lows of the bars, right? So we have a high, a lower high compared to this high here, a lower high compared to this bar here, a lower high, an equal high, a lower high, and a lower high. Notice how we have that, right, on a downward trend. It doesn't happen all the time, guys. It's not an exact science, but you'll notice here that look at this here. The last 3 days have been, last 3 days have been what? Equal highs? And we've been making low, higher low, higher low. So it's sort of squeezing up. Now look what happened today. We created a lower high and a lower low compared to these bars through here. So the last 3 days was indecision. Now we're breaking down, giving us a bit of a strong breaking down, closing there, breaking below. So it wouldn't surprise me if we did rally up like that and then we come straight back down and then say, yeehaw, grandma, we are doing it, right? So That's what I'm noticing there on the S&P 500, guys. It is not looking good for the short term, but the long term, guys, long term, right now, danger in the disco. Long term, dancing in the disco, right? So just keep an eye for that. Now that may not even happen, right? Especially where we are right now, but we are getting pretty top heavy and getting towards this September October period. But I do see the market probably having a nice rally out of that as well too. Let's have a look at the GDX as well too. So if I squeeze my chart right up a bit more, look what's happening here. We are starting to break below here. This is exactly what I wanted to see in the mining stocks. I wanted to see this. Now, why? Most of you guys that are holding mining stocks right now are like, oh my goodness, it's going down. It's never going to go up. Oh, you know what? This is probably going to shake out the weekends even more. Because you remember the slingshot pattern that I talked about, right? And this is something that I talked about in last week's video. The slingshot pattern, by the way, guys, is a system that I trade. The system, like you guys, should have 1, the setup, 2, your profit target, 3, your stop loss, meaning your point to get out. A lot of you guys, when you get into a position, you're like, that's it, buy, hold, let's go. Or hold on for dear life. No, I'm not holding on for dear life for anything. If I've got to hold on for dear life, I should be in the markets, right? And so it's so important, guys, and a lot of people just are not really understanding that thing, because like with the SIL, I had a potential slingshot pattern here. It started about, okay, here, potential slingshot pattern. I had my profit targets in, but I also had my levels. Okay, if it starts to get here, I need to be out. Why? Because that trade didn't work. That's called trading, guys. If you want to be good at trading, you must be good at starting to minimize those losses. You need to minimize those losses and get out when your system says get out. Now, guys, the big thing about trading is that it's a system. You wake up, you look for the same setups with the same exits, profit and losses, same thing every single day. You don't wake up and say, you know what, where would I like to put my loss? Wrong. You want to be professional, especially if you join me for my Super Trader Formula. I'll talk a lot about this, especially if we talk and I'll share this with you. One of the big things about the Super Trader Formula is you just having something where you follow consistently. It's actually not that hard. Oh, it actually is hard. I know a lot of you guys have fear of missing out, all that emotional side, right? That trading is actually an easy thing. Doing it is a hard thing. Fear of missing out and all that sort of stuff. So we're probably breaking down. The trend is your friend until the end. That slingshot pattern didn't work, as I talked about a week ago. A few weeks ago. That's the reason why for the last week I've been saying, get ready. We may have a bit more downside to come. And a lot of you guys don't like that, do you? If I say, here we go, here's a bullish pattern. It's on like Donkey Kong. It's going to go to the town and all this sort of stuff. And it's bullish. You guys are like, yeah, I agree with you. But as soon as someone does a video that disagrees with you, you're like, you suck, John. You suck. Dislike. Unsubscribe. This guy's a moron. Cool. Love it. So this is for 3% of you guys, you're going to understand what I've just said just there. Okay, guys? No guarantees of making a profit any given one trade. So have a level where you know you need to be out. Even if it is an investing position and you plan on holding for 3 years or 4 years, if the market gets to a certain point, you need to be out, right? Simple as that. Protecting your capital. Because that position could just keep going down and down and down and down and down and down and down. And 3 years later, you're like, oh my goodness, I should have got out of this 2 years ago. Right? So have a plan in place, guys. So this is what's happening here. So I would love to see, give me a flush down, right? Let's just flush it down. Give me a big flush down next week. Whoosh go, right? Flush it. That's what I want to see. And then what I want to see, I'm not saying it's going to happen, guys, but I want to see for me to get back into the GDX, get back into the mining sector, because I'm no longer in the mining sector right now. Well, I am for investing purposes, but that's more like buy and hold for long term. That's a separate account. But for short-term analysis, short-term trading setups, guys, or a trading setup for me, I want to see this thing start to do something like this again, right? Bit of a slingshot pattern once again. I want to see something like that. Otherwise, I'm not trading it. And if you guys are like, oh my goodness, I'm getting in here because inflation and all this sort of stuff, you are going to lose a lot of money, Let's have a look at the actual, the crypto market here, guys. So this is the crypto. We're looking at the actual crypto market now, and this is actually really, really, really interesting. Look at this here. Look at Bitcoin. Look what Bitcoin's developing right now. And Bitcoin's doing exactly the same pattern as it did last time, guys. There's nothing new in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's developing the same pattern. So we have to wait. We have to be careful here, right? Because we have a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Market runs up, comes back down. We have a lower low, a lower high, big down bar, and then we had a bit of a flush. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low. What's this? Lower low. If we get a big flush down bar, guess what's coming? It's just all over the markets, right? This is called listening to the markets and not your bumblebee head, right? Because your bumblebee head is always this is just listen to the markets. It's very simple. But that's okay. 97% of you guys are going to say, John, you suck, especially if you're long Bitcoin right now and you want to see it go to 100,000. And that doesn't drive with your view of what you think, which is, who gives a shit what you think? It's not about what I think either. It's about, as you can see, I'm just deriving my analysis from the markets. And so, because guys, you can do so well, right? You guys can do so well. Just stop getting into bullshit that you shouldn't be getting into. Simple, right? It really is that simple. Like, I have a system that's massively successful. Like, most of the time, it'll hit at least its short-term target. Right? And obviously, no, I don't give out all the details to that system. It's taken me tens of thousands of dollars, actually well over six figures actually, to really nut that down to that process. So I'm not going to give that out for 100% free. I do share some of it, in a trading course, but guys, it's so important for you guys to actually, just start to have something where you can be really, really confident in it. It doesn't have to be a guessing game. No guessing, right? No, you feel like I'm getting into this here because of these 3,000 things. Like, no. Right? And then guess what? When you start to have a system and you start to become confident and most of the time it's going to hit its target, guess what? Game over. All you have to do is say, sit back and wait. I'm just going to take these trades only. And then it's just like, and then when you don't take the trade you shouldn't, and then you have a plan of the trades that are likely to do really well for you most of the time, yes, you're going to have your losses every now and then. Becomes quite simple, guys. You guys can do this. It's actually quite a simple process. Just stop yourself from taking this other stuff because there was an article out there that said, oh, how good this thing was, right? This white paper. Oh my goodness, the white paper. Oh, this article online said how good this stock was, so I better get in now before it goes to the moon. And then it drops 50% on you. Guys, I have done it all, right? I have done it all of what you guys are probably thinking, feeling right now. If you want to be a professional in this market, a person that actually does make money, not like 97% of you guys. Oh, I wouldn't say, probably 90% of you guys. I reckon 10% make money. It's only really the 3% people that actually do really well out of trading, right? So the 90%ers, 90% of you guys are watching right now are losing money. And the big thing is that you just, again, like you're just trading based on a lot of thinking, right? A lot of all that stuff out there. Everyone else is doing it, so I should be doing it as well too. Which, if you know anything about the market, is if everyone is talking about it and everyone is doing that same thing, the market is counterintuitive that way. If everyone is doing the same thing and everyone's talking about the same thing, you're probably getting in way too late, right? And then it's probably going to reverse on you. And you guys, I'm sure at least 50% of you guys have experienced that at least once. I have many t-shirts of it, so I can testify that. The only reason why I'm talking about this sort of stuff and I can share this stuff with you is, guess what? Because I've actually done it. So if everyone is talking about it, guess what? It's too late, right? It's way too late. And that's how if you ever see the stock market cycles, what are the voices at the top of markets? We're gonna make so much money, you better be in. I'm YOLOing, I'm holding, here we go. Oh my God, right? And it's all it's just go, right? That's what you hear at tops of markets. So whenever you hear that, you're like, oh, I should be worried. But unfortunately, a lot of people get sucked into the noises and then they fear of missing out. They jump on the bandwagon like most people. They buy it after it's gone up, 200%. And then now they're like, oh, I wonder why it pulled back on me. I got stopped out. Well, you bought it when the market already went up. Don't buy it when the market's already gone up. Buy it when it's just starting to go up. That's why my system is so successful. Because I don't buy it after it's gone up a lot, because it's going to pull back on you. That's how the markets work, right? But guess what? I buy it as it's just as we just go through a bit of a quiet period, and we're just starting to move. That's when I jump in on it. If it's going to be a loss, it's going to be a loss. But most of the time, at least I'm going to get my short-term target out of it. Look at Neo. Look what Neo's doing. Oh my goodness, Neo is just This is looking weak, guys. Neo not good. Neo no good, right? High low, high low, high low, lower low, and a lower high below my moving average, which is just a 20 moving average, guys. It's nothing new. I also use a 52 moving average, but the 20 is more like my shorter term moving average that I use. I use a 52 also, guys. But the 20 is the thing I look for. But look at this here, guys. Down, lower low. We've got a bit of a quiet period now. I wouldn't be too surprised to see if we do get that, guys. Guess what's going to happen to Neo? The market's talking to us, right? And people are like, oh my goodness, crypto's getting smashed again. No, I don't know what's going to happen. But if we do get a down bar like that, that's probably going to give us a bit of confirmation, guys, that we're probably likely to see at least a bit of a short-term move on the downside. And by the way, guys, if we did get a sharp down bar here, guess what this guy's doing? I'll leave that question mark for you. Am I going to be buying or am I going to be shorting it, at least for a short-term trade, a little short-term cash flow trade? Interesting. All right, Cardano, not really much going on there. We are below. We are just sort of, not really much. We are below the moving average. We are testing this as resistance, but there's a bit of support there, so not really much going on there. Dogecoin is actually looking really weak, guys. Really, really, really weak. Look at the moving average. Strong moving average down. And we're developing the sideways down like that. So guess what? If indeed we start to get something like this on Cardano, something like that, we have a big down bar and it closes like that, guess what? We're probably likely to come back down to here and flush below the lows here in Cardano. So guess what this guy would be doing if we get something like that? It's actually too simple, guys. It really is. It's too simple. If you guys are struggling with your trading right now, go get that super trader formula. I'm obviously going to personally call you and walk you through the super trader formula. But I promise you, give me half an hour and I'll share with you exactly why you're going wrong. It's actually not that hard. It's actually quite simple. Here's the same sort of thing, guys. Right, down, got a quiet period. If we get a down bar like that, we're probably least likely to do something like that on a short-term basis, maybe even a bit more. But XRP is looking really weak. Look at this here. Low, higher low, equal low, lower high. If we get a down bar like that, that means a changing trend and we're probably likely to follow through. And once again, guys, this is just listening to what? The market. Listening to the market, not opinions and bullshit bumblebees. Because remember I said before, let's actually even just take the moving average off. Remember I said before, guys, right? Look at this here. What's in an upward trend? Higher lows, upward trend, higher lows, higher highs. What if it's not doing higher lows and higher highs anymore? Well, guess what? The trend is no longer your friend. If we do something like that, no longer higher high, guess what? Warning sign. The trend is no longer your friend. Low, Bitcoin, low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Look at this here, lower low, and it ran up, made a lower high. And what is this here? See that big down bar there? See that big down bar like that there? What is that doing? This is now what? Lower low and lower high. And then the market crashed. The market had had a 50% withdrawal from 65 down to 30. Or 60 down to 30, right? More than 50% pullback out of that there. But guys, the one thing I've learned about trading is that you can ignore reality, which is what the market is telling us. Because you can have these opinions about the market's manipulated and the market's this and the market's that and the market's this. Yes, all of that is true, but the market still gives us patterns that we can trade off, right? Now, it's not like every day we get a pattern, and now it can happen every day. It just depends on your system, but the market produces patterns, and the market does produce these highs and lows. They have done, guys, this highs and lows of what the market's doing. Like right now, we have a low, higher low, higher low, higher low, lower low. We haven't got a lower high yet, so there's no one in control. But if we do get something like this again, something like that, guess what? Now we have a lower high, and then guess what? We're probably likely to do something like this with Bitcoin, and people are going to go, oh, crypto crash, crypto crash, crypto crash. Guys, you can see this, right? So a lot of people are spending too much time listening to the views and opinions of YouTube. Like, my opinion doesn't mean jack shit in the markets. It really doesn't. Jack diddle dumb, suck his thumb, right? The only thing that matters is what the market is telling us right now. You can ignore reality, what the market is telling us, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. The reality was here that Bitcoin was telling us that we're probably going to go through a bit of a pullback soon because one, we've been going up for quite some time, and two, we're starting to get a bit of a topping pattern here. You can ignore reality. Say, no, it's not going to go down. I'm going to double up here. Here we go. We're going to the moon. Because I read this white paper and I read this guy and this guy said it's going to $1 million, $500,000. Oh my goodness, they're right because I'm long and that's what I wanted to hear. Confirmation bias, which is totally wrong, by the way. No confirmation bias. Do not be looking for confirmation bias, right? What's the only thing you need to worry about? What they're telling you is what they're doing, right? They're doing exactly the same thing as you're doing. So they're long Bitcoin, and of course they're going to say it's going to go to $500,000 because they want to do what? They want to find everything they can that supports that they are right. Same as you, right? You're in a trade right now, and you're going to try to find every reason why what you did is the right thing to do. And if the market's pulling back, you're going to try to find every reason why you should stay in that. Even though the reality of what the market is doing, saying, you know what, we've got a pretty good chance of actually halving right now, a 50% drop. Oh no, it's not going to happen. It's going to go to $1 million. You don't know, John. You're an idiot, right? Okay. You can ignore reality, but you can never ignore what? The consequences of what? Say it with me. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. You can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Make sense, guys? So it's not about me. It's not about me being right or wrong, or this guy getting it right, this guy getting it wrong. It's never about that. It's about the market talking to us, seeing some simple patterns, having a simple trading plan, and where most of the time you actually generate an income from that by having at least some sort of profit target on that back of that plan, rinse, recycle, repeat, and you can do really well. And if you'd like to get my help with that, then go get access to one of those Super Trader Formula spots where I'll personally call you. Just go watch the video, fill out the form. I'll personally call you. I'll walk you through it, and I'll share with you more about how you can exactly just do that. But if you are just doing all the stuff that I talk about in this video, guys, you're going to go backwards. And it doesn't bother me because I'm going to keep trading markets, and I'm going to keep crushing, and I'm going to keep doing really well from the markets. The question is, are you? The question is, do you actually even have a formula, a plan of attack that you know that you are confident in, that when you see this setup, you know that there's a massive probability, that you can at least hit that short-term target on that. If you don't, then you need my help. Go click that link below right now, guys. It's free anyway, all right? It doesn't cost you anything. And let me actually walk you through some stuff that I know is definitely going to help you out. Have an amazing day, guys, and I'll speak to you real soon.